Okay, in this part of the demo, I'm going to add a new storefront. It'll be an app attached storefront again, and this time I'm going to create a storefront for my contracted developers. So I'll just set a storefront name, a description, and I will again put in my subscription ID for my Azure subscription. I'll select my resource group and the host pool that I would like to associate with these applications. And at first, I'm just going to add Visual Studio. I'll click Save. I'll click Publish, and I'll put in a comment. Okay, once published, I'll go straight to Azure Virtual Desktop and to App Attach. And we can see my Visual Studio application is already available and visible in App Attach. So I'm going to go and I'm going to manage this and assign it to my security group for my temp contractors. Okay, once that command has executed within Azure, I can now launch my Windows 11 multi-session desktop and log in as a member of that group. Okay, if I could be quick and just launch the Cloudpaging player, which is our client software, we should see, yep, that the Visual Studio already appears to be on the desktop. So if I go to my Start menu and scroll down, we could see Visual Studio 2022. And if I launch this application, we should see it should be pretty performant, launches pretty quickly. And before I do anything, I just want to go back to my Cloudpager tenant to just show you something. So you could see I've obviously got Visual Studio. And if I look at this, it's just a base package. So it's actually relatively small compared to the full Visual Studio that you typically install. But I also have these other components. This is the desktop and mobile component, and I also have the web component. So I've actually packaged the other components and workflows that are available within Visual Studio into separate containers. That way, I can deploy, say, my mobile and desktop to just the developers who need those and make the package size smaller. And if I go into my Visual Studio here and just browse by the project types, we can see like it doesn't look right. And if I try to use one of these workflows, I'll get an error. That's because this is one of the workflows that's taken care of by my other container. So let's go back to my storefront, and I'm just going to edit this storefront and now add in those additional workflows or components. So I'm going to go add my mobile and my web, and I'll click Publish, and I'll give a comment. At this point, I'll edit the video just for brevity's sake, but I've also gone and assigned the applications to that security group with the Azure entitlement process. So now if I just fast forward a little bit and log into the desktop again, we're going to see that Visual Studio is still there, but I've also now got the mobile and I've also got the web components. So now if I launch into Visual Studio and I create a new project, say I'll select one of those types that has been serviced by these additional containers, such as selecting desktop from the dropdown, and we'll just do a Windows desktop application. I'll enter a project name, and once set, I will just click Create, and the project successfully creates. So I've essentially taken a smart approach to delivering an optimized experience for Visual Studio catered to the workflows that my developers require.